Hello, it's Miss Beatty here, and today we are looking at measure, and this is going to be our new topic. So, the first thing we are going to focus on is estimating. So, we're going to practice measuring objects but also estimating them as well, their length, their width, or their height using centimeters and millimeters. So, this video is going to explain that step by step, and it should help you to complete the activities at the end. Remember, you can pause this video at any time just to make sure that you understand what it is that you are doing. Okay, so first of all, we are going to work out what length actually is. Now, length is a measure of distance. Now, distance is the key word here. Okay, it is the measured distance from one end to the other of the longer or longest side of an object. So if we look at a cuboid, which is a 3D shape, from one end to the other end is its length. Okay, that's the distance from one corner to the other. A real life example could be a guitar. So from the top of this or fretboard to the bottom is the distance from one end to the other. Okay, and if you were to estimate these distances, you're just sort of giving a guess almost of what you think the distance might be. So that's what length is. What about width? Well, it kind of says in its name, width is a measurement of how wide something is, or maybe how thick something is. So, for example, here's another cuboid, a 3D shape. We've got its length from one side to the other. Now, width, again, is how thick it is. So it would be possibly from here to here, okay, or from here to here, measuring its width. Same if you had a football field, its length is from one end to the other end, and its width would be sort of from the side, okay, of how maybe thick the pitch actually is. Width is quite a tricky one, so you just need to make sure you read the examples when you are completing the activities. What is height? Height is a measure of distance again, so it's very similar to length. By measuring height, it tells you how tall or high something is. So those are our keywords, how tall or high something is. And for example, measuring how much you've grown, okay, in centimeters, that would suggest that you're tall. Okay, this would suggest that you're short. These are all different ways to describe height, okay? So just remember it's how tall or high an object is. So estimating length, width, and height in centimeters and millimeters, these are the two main units of measurement that we are looking at. So estimating just means to make a judgment, make a guess, or make an approximate calculation about something. So looking at an object and thinking, I think that's maybe 30 centimeters long, or I think maybe that's 5 centimeters in height, or I maybe think the width of that is 2 centimeters. So it's making a guess based on what it looks like. If you look at a ruler, a standard ruler that you would use in school, okay, or that you might bring with you to school, that's typically 30 centimeters long, okay? And if you ever see millimeters, so mm, you just need to remember that 10 millimeters is equal to 1 centimeter. So millimeters are smaller units of measurement and centimeters are bigger. So for example, on this ruler, we know that it's measuring anything in centimeters. Here is 1 centimeter, okay, 1 centimeter, and we know that each of these is worth 1 millimeter. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 10 millimeters. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to convert between millimeters and centimeters just to help you when it comes to a couple of questions. Most rulers will have measurements of centimeters on one side and millimeters on the other, but not all of them do, so I'll explain that in just a bit. Estimating length, okay, so estimating length, width, or height, okay, is just having a look at, for example, a line like this. So we're just going to use the line as an example. So estimate what you think that might be in centimeters. So I might have a little look and think, right, I think that's maybe 6 centimeters. So I'd write 6 centimeters down as my estimate, okay? Which means 6 centimeters, okay, I might measure that as maybe an estimate of 60 millimeters. Okay, so that's how you estimate. And then to confirm your estimation, you just need to actually measure, for example, the line or the object to double check your answers. Okay, so that's how you estimate. You just have a look and have a little guess at what you think might be the length, or if it asks for the width or the height. You just have a guess. And then afterwards, that's when you can double check by actually physically measuring the line or the object with a ruler. Now, let's have a look at another example. If, for example, okay, we have a line and you've been asked to estimate what this line, the measurement of this line, so the length of this line is in centimeters, I'm going to write 7 centimeters here. That's what I think it might be. But if it asks you to estimate, okay, the length of this line in millimeters, okay, all you need to do is remember that to convert centimeters into millimeters, you just need to multiply the number in centimeters by 10. Okay? So we know that 7 times 10, okay, is equal to 70. Or if I just add a 0 onto the 7, it would become 70. So 7 millimeters. Sorry, 70 millimeters. Okay? So that's how you change anything from centimeters, okay, into millimeters. If that was, let's say, if you estimated it with a decimal point, or maybe you measured it and the answer is with a decimal point, okay, so I'll rub this example out. So assuming that we think this line is maybe, let me think, let's try 7.7 centimeters. That's what you've estimated, and you've actually measured it as well. So you're correct in your estimation and you've measured it, 7.7 centimeters. But the question is asking you, what is it in millimeters? If your ruler doesn't have millimeters on it, then the easy way to convert it into millimeters is multiply this number in centimeters by 10. Okay? Again, if it didn't have a 0, you can just add a 0 onto it. But this number has a decimal point. If it was asking you to divide by 10, we know that we would move this decimal point one place to the left. But we're not dividing by 10, we are multiplying by 10. So this decimal point actually has to move one place to the right, or one place forward instead, and it goes here. So that number actually becomes 77 centimeters, or 77.0, which is the same as saying 77. But the answer wouldn't be in centimeters because we've just converted it into millimeters. Okay, so remember, to convert anything from centimeters, okay, from centimeters into millimeters, we just need to multiply our answer in centimeters by 10 by moving that decimal place forward one place, or just adding a 0 to the end of the number, okay? If the question asks you to find the difference between the shortest and the longest length, or the width or the height of something, all you need to know is finding the difference of something is using subtraction, or taking away, okay? So let's say that this line, let's say it measures out at 8 centimeters, okay? We know that that's worth 80 millimeters, okay? Because 8 times 10, okay, 8 times 10 is 80. So that's 80 millimeters, just in case the question asks us. 80 millimeters. And let's estimate this line is 6 centimeters. And in case the question asks us in millimeters, we just know that we need to times 6 centimeters by 10 to get 60 millimeters. Okay? To find the difference between the two lengths, Okay, in centimeters, we would do 8 centimeters, take away 6. 8, take away 6, which we know is equal to 2 centimeters. So the difference is 2 centimeters between these two lines. Okay, again, if the answer was in millimeters, all you would do is 80 millimeters, take away 60 millimeters. Okay, and we know that that would leave us with 20 millimeters because 60 add 20 is 80. And your answer, of course, has to be in the unit of measurement that you are working in. Okay, so I hope this video makes sense. It's just a quick video just to give you a basic understanding of length, width, and height, and how to estimate and how to check your answer by measuring, for example, the object or the line using centimeters and millimeters. So have a go at home, and if you need any help, don't be afraid to ask for it, and email us your work. You can post it on Teams. Okay, just try your best. That's all you can do. This is the start of a new topic, so it is always going to be a little bit tricky to begin with. Okay, so don't worry.